That's the thing, like right now, like I'm still doing 2 different jobs.
In other words, behind you got a hospital.
I called the Jasper County Transportation Committee before. Let's have our applications for that.
Lord, the following come again before your presence, thanks to the Lord. Thank you for your blessings for the following. Pray that our travel and finding out present. We pray for our kind of state and our first. Allow us to choose a little youth guidance and the dignity to work with them and take it for your people. Again, thank you for all your work. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. And our pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Each one of you got a copy of the minutes in your folder. I know you have a few minutes for those. I need a motion to approve.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that the minutes be received last week.
A motion and a second. A second. A motion and a second. Any further comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Do you have anyone sign up for public comment?
Anyone?
No.
I think we got one person going now.
Yes, sir.
Nobody want No one.
No one sign up for it. Then we'll move into new business. Mr. Fozer was supposed to be here to make a couple presentations, but I understand the roads are going to make a call.
Yes, sir. I believe he would be here. He's in a budget workshop. They called, they were supposed to finish that up last week, but you know how that goes. The 462, we all had a meeting, was about 2-3 weeks ago, and we had to crash data pulled on 462. It came up to about 1 crash a year is what it averaged out. We pulled it up the last 5 years. Of course, having said that, I think it's been 2 this year so far. But the administrator authorized for Ms. Bragg, who is the county's on-call engineer for those kind of projects, to look at some of the proposals and develop a plan. And then once we get some estimated costs for that to go out, and of course, it'll be whether DOT wants to take that on as part of, because that is their road. And you know, you've got a lot of other things to look at, part of the property that, you know, throughout as possible. Additional clearing belongs to Good Hope, so we'll have to contact Good Hope to see if they would be willing to do that. I think y'all measured from the center line out, and everything, you know, the legal right-of-way is cut.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, everybody's done DOT as far as the visual setbacks on the road. It's all as it's supposed to be. You know, I was on that road the other day, and people they don't pay attention. You know, everybody's flying and distracted. But that's the only element, Mr. Carter.
Randy Carter.
Main issue. But I think as far as what I think presented to you guys is if we move forward, we probably need to come back to the transportation committee for some funding. We don't have any idea how much.
Let me take a minute to make sure you people understand what we're talking about. Talking about where you turn off 462 on the Low Spot Road. It's on the curve.
Yeah.
No,
Nose out. It's on the bad curve right before you get to the recycling center. It's a dangerous curve. And that's what we're talking about.
but that's basically where we are. We have Ms. Bragg is developing a proposal, and then we'll have to send it out and just, you know, see if we get any traction, you know, by the state. Like I said, that's impacting the state highway, and they're ones that decide whether they want to improve it or not.
tell you, we're not gonna have any funding for it until we find out something. And then set them off where we get it, after that, we have to be out.
Right.
But
Check on the next one too. Oh, there's something.
You know anything about that? That Andy was supposed to bring that through, you were supposed to discuss it.
On the trash, what, I haven't.
No. Right after that,
Oh, the widening? Yeah, I put my glasses on, I could see
some
it.
grant he requested.
Okay, what happened with that, the 278 widening, part of the funding that we had asked for, it was, an appropriation, and it was denied. The EDA grant that's been sitting out there for like 2 years, 2.5 years, there's no way to get the right-of-ways approved from all the landowners at this date. And so it's better under the eyes of EDA that we ask to, get money back and then go back and redo the project and reapply again like next year. And there's potential to possibly expand that project as well, make it a little different than we was initially asked for.
about explaining these others, exactly.
The main part we were looking at here was out past the ladder, past the school, 4-lane. That was kind of the main part of it, and the other part was on Liberty 278. Around that.
The other part was out at Smith Cross.
Yes, Smith's
I
Farm.
want to prove that to do something like this. And I'm talking this for Bronco. This was a project the city and the county was involved in, a joint project. And it got turned down.
When the EDA money was approved, it was a portion of it that was turned down. Just one, there was like several different funding sources, but the biggest piece is the fact that just the right-of-ways were not really gotten. And there's no way to get it called up by this time. With EDA, if you pass the deadline and you haven't got the project started, that's worse on you than you say, hey, we run into some complications at this time, we appreciate the award, but we need to rescind it, and we'll come back to you later, once we get the problem fixed. It's much better on you when you're applying for money if you do that, rather than going beyond the deadline that you're supposed to have it finished.
How long in we had committed to help with the matching fund.
Right.
And how long we had done.
So that's what we're going to be redoing the project, probably expanding it some more, and we'll come back with it.
Let's do things out, we have money.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, good job, we appreciate that. I'm up next, we got a little complaint from somebody down in Beaufort County, on the road from one side of I-95 to the Beaufort County line. Says it's rough, it's steep rattling, and dangerous for them to do the traffic. So we got, they sent a complaint to the center. They forwarded, the state forwarded it up. I went down there and checked the project. I didn't find any problem. So I called that fellow and I talked to him. I said, make me understand exactly what you're talking about. So he did. I went back and I checked it again. I still didn't find any problem. So,
So you got to complain earlier, you got to complain before.
yeah, so I wrote, I think it was something, and we'll go back and told him what I found. You know, he said it was keep rattling and dangerous on the car. I didn't think rattling, about rattling, yeah, the car. So as far as I'm concerned, there's no problem. She wrote go in there. If you got a car down and make us some pictures of video and send it, you have to send it. So as far as I'm concerned, that problem is over.
Must have been on 278, didn't realize where it was.
Fellow name,
Bill, I'm sitting there, I'm saying, who is it?
it's up on Beaufort County.
Where you from, Beaufort County?
Yes, some of them do, I called the doctor, he's not He depending on, he looked at this. There's no problem with that road, I can assure you that. I think then it's 4-1 or something like that. Anybody got any question on that?
I didn't have a chance to understand this complaint, but that was getting it down. That's why I'm asking you. I heard you had it earlier, but you had a chance to go over it. So I don't know what the complaint is.
The complaint was, the road was bad. Tear up cars, drag up the street.
It's worse on the Collins side. It's looking at the south side.
There you go, 278. Hey, you get up here to him, camera? Yeah.
Every week.
One spot out for me that I got this little rough place down 33, X33. Coming into 17, it's a hole that's been there for a few weeks. And that's the only one I see here, identify with, need to take care of. Yeah, I know, I saw it, but I go that way, that's how I have to know often. So that's how I have to notice that, that's the only one that I'm read and I can identify with. The route from exit 33, coming to go off 17, going 17, and there's a hole. They've been there for the last few weeks. It's coming up pretty rough.
It's on this side,
It's on this side of 95. It's going to come off 33, that's it's a hole there.
you folks from the state don't understand what he
So
said.
that's what I'm saying, because all of us, we have to have a chance to confirm it, and look at it.
Now, the different
That's the
spots,
only one, that's what's the only one I see that I can identify with.
we talk about a different spot now, than what this place is doing.
Okay.
We used to complain about the other side and go down to the river. We had to talk about something on this side of 95, where you get that from.
Right. Right, yeah.
Good point, so
Okay.
it does need looking at.
All right. Like 20? Farther down. Okay. Yeah. Yep.
You gotta get the stop sign, you gotta get it.
Yep.
We're talking about like,
Okay.
that's one of the rules, you know,
That's what I was trying to figure out. So kind of like we cross the road, just stop sign, cross the road.
Any further comment?
Probably better turn. That used to be over there a long time ago, that short.
Not broke, done, asphalt road.
This is Mr. Howard, we didn't,
You don't think we're
call it, we just paid for Howard.
That's possible, yeah, that's possible.
I see the reason I'm not gonna use that.
Wooden shotgun, it only takes one truck to get over there and mash it down.
Good evening. On May 17, a subpoena was sent to the delegation's office for request for records. And it was from Sadrain Williams, and it was versus South Carolina DOT and Jasper County. It's a civil action. And his request for record pertain to Delos Point Road, and tell you exactly what it says. It says, you are hereby commanded to produce and permit inspection and copy of all documents or objects in your possession, custody, or control at the place dated and time specified below. And specified below are any and all minutes of all meetings from January 1, 2010 through December 31, 2020 that has mentioned or referenced the Delos, is I'm pronouncing it right? Delos Point Road in Jasper County. And any and all documents that we obtain pertaining to Delos Point Road, we had to submit to his attorney by January 5th. And his attorney is the Parker Law Group. And his specific attorney was Daniel Henderson. And I went through the records, all the records and the meeting minutes from the Jasper County Transportation Committee, and I came up with the following document. On May the 11th, 2020, in the Jasper County Transportation Committee meeting, Mr. Malzahn Russell requests funding for Highway S27 151 Roseland area. Mr. Russell presented to the committee a request for programming for resurfacing of secondary 151 Delos Point Road in the amount of $464,800. Vice Chairman Alex Flint made a motion to approve the request. Motion second by Mr. Leo Gatson. The committee voted unanimously yes, and the motion passed and was approved. And that was on May the 11th, 2020. On May the 28th, 2020, Mr. Rudolph Smith, Chairman of the Jasper County Transportation Committee, received a letter from Ms. Ivana Gerhardt. She's the C Program Manager for the State Transportation Department. Dear Mr. Smith, the South Carolina Department of Transportation received a programming request from the Jasper County Transportation Committee allocating funds for an improvement project. Per the CTC's approval, $464,800 was allocated to Jasper County for state reimbursement project CPCN PO 39859. This project is described as resurface Delos Point Road, S151. Thank you for your consideration and support of this project. If you have any question or concern, the C Program Manager, please don't hesitate to contact me, and she listed her number and her email address. Okay. On 5/29, we received a project authorization agreement, and the amount that was allotted was, for this project, the Lost Point Road resurfacing, $464,800 as indicated previously. And at the end of your package that you have in front of you, committee, you see where Mr. Smith, the chairman of the committee, signed it on May the 11th, approving the request that Mr. Malzahn presented to the committee. And also the map depicting where Delos Front Road is at. Any questions, concerns? Talk with the chairman.
Tell you what I know about this project. Well, I know everything we've done on the road. Somebody's been involved in the wreck down there. Put down that road somewhere around where there's fish pond, front lawn. For some reason they hit that tree. That tree's been there a long time. I don't know what to do with it. But I just, it's gonna be between him and Lord. As I'm concerned, everything we've done on the road is big. All we can do is back up to what happened. Anything that happened was, I understand somebody got killed. Mr. Bishop, you might come up there and speak on what more.
Yeah, it was in 2019. There was an accident at the end of the paved section, or just past it. There's a big oak tree. They drove into that, and I believe the passenger died as a result of that accident. I know I've already had my deposition. I think Dale Terry was there getting deposed the same day I was there.
What it is that the house at the end of that street, and those old trees there at the fish pond, and there's a county road from there on down to the old river over there. And they rode in the dirt was stop. And for mine, it's been there a long time, but it really did for what it became.
Mr. Bishop, you said in 2019 someone?
Yeah, in 2019, that's when the accident was. Can't remember the exact date.
What year was it worked on this? 2021?
Pardon?
What year was this road worked on?
We paid for 2021. So that's right. We paid for
2020.
2020.
Yeah.
We approved it.
It approved on May the 11th,
29 May of
2020. It's in your package.
We can get the state cut, they said, cover it up. They would never cover it. Once we approve the money, the state does it, we can be out of it. Anybody got any questions on this? Evan, I'll let the person, thank you for the good job you did on that responsibility. Sometimes I think you get difficult. You did a great job doing it, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you sending me copies of what you did. Anybody else got anything for it? Anybody got anything for it? Come forward to this afternoon. And I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
A motion, need a second.
Sure.
A motion, second, any further comment?